And welcome to we're live. Welcome to In Between Sets podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin.
And I'm Abigail.
This is episode 23, 24.
24.
24. I corrected myself. Where Abigail is gonna put me in the hot seat today.
Yeah, switch roles a little bit here. So if you don't know, which if you're listening to this, you probably do know, but Caitlin has been officially in business all on her own for 4 whole years. Pretty crazy. How's it feel?
Yeah. It feels great.
Did you
It
celebrate?
actually feels like I've been in business for myself for 20 years.
Kinda. I mean, like, even when you train in person, you kind of do somewhat work for yourself.
Yeah.
Even though somebody's paying you. But
the
like,
Gold Gym takes about like 60% of it.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to find all your own stuff, do your own programming, do everything. So anyway, big deal because I could be wrong here, but I did see a statistic that was like most people don't stay in business for themselves for more than 2 years. Like their businesses don't survive. And I think it was actually specifically
at home. I'm not a statistic.
Yeah. So I was like, that's pretty impressive. And I feel like we've talked about that a few times over the years of like, you're still a baby business. Like,
Yeah.
Be very happy with how well you're doing. So anyway, I'm very proud of you. So we are going to get all the inside scoop on how to start our own businesses.
Okay. Yeah. You can all learn from me and my mistakes and, seamless transitions for yourself.
Yeah, literally. And I want to kind of do it like kind of 3 different types of questions. So just about like being a business owner, kind of how it's changed you specifically, and then also just specific questions about online coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Just to give you a heads up. I sent her these questions like 4 minutes before we hopped on. So
any of these questions. I like through when you sent me this, I was like, there's a lot of questions.
But I kind of like it that way because one, it's really easy to just kind of roll with it. We don't really typically go through a bunch of questions, but also I like to know like the on the spot answer where you don't have time to like think about this curated answer.
I don't have to curate an answer and yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
So first thing I want to know, because I bet a lot of people, even if they are close with you, don't actually know the answer to this. But what does like a day-to-day look like for somebody who is an online fitness coach specifically, or I guess really just for you?
What is my, like, what are my hours? What's
your job look like?
What are you even doing with your
do all day?
Do
you even work?
I look at Emma. I'm just kidding. Okay, so honestly, the first probably 2.5 hours of work are client check-ins. Like I have designated each client a specific check-in day. We talk throughout the week. Like it's not just like they only have one day to talk to me.
You get 1 hour of my week.
You get 1 hour. No, like they can text me, message me, ask you questions, whatever through, I use Slack to kind of be able to communicate through that because I'm not a great texter. Like I'm pretty good, but you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Not as bad as no, I'm just kidding. But
like, you're gonna hear back from me.
It helps me to really compartmentalize having clients like in one space. And that way it helped me too. We'll talk about this later, probably draw some boundaries on like when to answer clients and when to talk to them, because I might get a message at like 8 p.m. or 5 a.m. and I'll forget to message back because I'm still sleeping, or I'm like, hey, no, I need to not work at 8 p.m.
Yeah, God forbid you have some time to yourself.
Yeah, that took me a while to learn.
Right.
Anyway, so I'll spend the first like 2.5 hours of checking in with clients. I typically will either send like a voice message back. I know a lot of online remote coaches will send actual like video messages back.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That way you can see like what they're viewing, what they're changing, what they're looking at. For the most part, I feel like my clients get a pretty good feedback from me just like talking through the voice messaging, and then or texting, typing them how they felt. It really, I'm just looking at it as they fill out a prompt on your check-in mornings, and it's a biofeedback answers, right? So like, how did you sleep? What was your adherence for the week? What was your adherence in the programming? How did you feel where you are in your cycle? How much did you weigh? How much you weighed last week, et cetera, and so forth. Because obviously there's just so much more that goes into like health than what do you weigh? Like, how much weight did you lose last week?
Is this an everyday thing, or you have certain days that are
I,
check-in?
I don't typically do check-ins on, I think, Wednesdays. So
Okay.
I maybe have like one or two people that check in on Wednesdays, but I designate Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays and Friday mornings to be able to do that. And
Right.
Wednesday I'll leave like kind of empty, either for me to be able to fill in any way that I need, or I typically don't work out on Wednesdays. So I'll kind of block off that whole day to work on content, back end stuff, get with Victoria on finances, whatever. Like I kind of
Okay.
leave that day to just whatever I need to catch up on. So after
Your
I've done
admin day?
my yap with Abigail, do a podcast in a session. So after at like the check-in portion, I'll send out any either meal plans that need to be done, or like check-ins, contract things that need to be. I have Ellie that helps me with that, but she also has a job, and so like
Right.
if things that I need to get caught up on that she doesn't have time for, I'll do it then. Then I typically break for lunch because I usually work from like 9 until like 11:30. Eat my lunch, take Emma out again, obviously do my steps. This is also kind of where I might spend my time scrolling a little bit more to kind of, my job is also very much on social media.
Yeah.
So I want to see what's trending. I want to see like, okay, are we making carousels anymore? Is that even important? Like, are talking heads more important, et cetera, et cetera. So then when I come back, eat lunch, all that, I might do a little bit more back end work. And then that's where I maybe will do some really good like content creation. Canva and me we have a love
You're
hate
good at it.
relationship. Like I'm
Yeah.
good at it, but then at the same time, it'll really F me up sometimes if it like, I went to post something last week and a girl was like, hey, there's like 2 slides where they're like overlapping. And I was like, anyway, so, and then I'll go to,
For somebody who doesn't know, what is back end work?
oh, like, sorry. Yeah, I'll do like, okay, back end work could look like me programming, for example. Like if I know that a new Beefy Babe cycle is going to come up, then I'm going to be working on like 6 to 8 weeks of actual programming. If I have a client that is heading into a different phase, I'll restructure her programming. It can really just kind of look like anything.
Behind the scenes of
Yeah, behind
yeah.
the scenes, and even back in work could also mean like building a call that I'm going to host for Beefy Babes Club, building our slideshow. But it's like
Right.
more of the actual in the business work, like
The dirty work.
like yeah, rather than working on things that would like, oh, what could make the business better, what could make coaching better. Like I would consider that something that I would do on like Thursdays or Fridays, where I'll look at, like right now I'm maybe looking at not using True Coach anymore, and I'm looking at
Okay.
using another app. Like so I might be doing a little bit more that I think would maybe make the client uh what's the word I'm looking for?
Experience.
Yeah, the client experience better.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, then I'll go to the gym, and I'll also maybe create content at the gym. Like I'll film myself doing a workout that I know I can use like as either, hey guys, this is how you should be doing a deadlift, or I can use it as the background of a reel or a TikTok or something, and then I come home and I might do my client check-ins again, like somewhere in like 2 to 3 p.m. while I'm
Right.
on the treadmill, doing my like warming up, just walking. I'll respond to maybe what I sent earlier and they have responded. So I'm kind of in constant communication. I typically check client check-ins, like those structured days, 2 times a day. Like
Okay.
first block, typically they're pretty responsive, or that second block when they've taken the time to respond.
Because I would assume you have some people that check in at 5 a.m. and others that wait till like your very latest deadline.
I have the noon deadline. Like your first check-in needs to be before noon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because it takes you like 10 minutes, and that's pretty easy
Yeah.
I think. Anyway. But that's pretty, I mean, I want to say that's pretty much it, because there's always things that kind of come up. Obviously, like us
Yeah.
recording.
Well, I mean, obviously we didn't go through every detail of
Right.
what it looks like to create content and this and that, but just a broad.
Like that's what I'm doing and working on. And yeah.
So how does it look different like now, that schedule versus when you first started?
Oh,
So like year one.
there was just no structure. There was just zero. I didn't know how to structure a day. And that used to leave me feeling so anxious because
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know how to make this successful. I didn't have client check-in prompts. Like, I didn't even really have a designated client check-in day just because I didn't know how to really structure one-on-one coaching. Like, when I
Yeah.
left Dale's, I was like, okay, well, I don't know. I'll just figure it out. Like, I'll just check in with people,
Whatever. Yeah. I work for myself. I can do whatever, whenever.
text them, and see how they're doing.
Yep.
Like,
Well, it's funny because I feel like that is very similar to kind of any job in the sense of when you're new to it, it's almost like you can't overwork yourself because you don't know what to do. Like
yeah,
when I first got on recruiting duty, I remember I would like be home at like 4 o'clock because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So like I don't know what needs to get done. And then you figure it out and you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
there's not enough hours in the day. I'm now
no,
working till midnight.
yeah,
And then you finally get to the point, and it's kind of funny because it's a similar timeline, like year 3, year 4, where you're like, okay, the day's got to end at some point. I now have a little bit of structure. I know what needs to get done, but like nothing is ever done. So like some things have to,
for me, it was like a really, in the last 4 years, it was that first year of kind of going like, oh, cool, I'm getting client. Like, everything felt really volatile. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, the effort I was putting into my business, I would reap some rewards from it. I would get clients, I would whatever. When I really wasn't doing much in the business because I had clients to tend to, or whatever, then I would feel like, then I would like lose it because I didn't have contracts in place.
Yeah.
Really have like, the way that I'd structured it back then was like, okay, I'm in a program, because I used to structure it off like what I thought we used to do at Gold. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're working out 3 times a week with me, this is how much you'll pay for a month. Or if I'm, programming 3 times a week, if I'm
Yes.
programming one time a week, this is how much that is. Like, that's how I was like really thinking about it. And then I was like, well, that doesn't work for remote coaching. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is kind of the same, like whether you're working out 1 to 2 times a week or 5 to 6, whatever. Like, and then I realized that because I didn't have contracts in place, people could cancel whenever.
Oh,
Um,
that one.
and I couldn't, and it's not that I was worried about them canceling. It was just like 4 weeks is not enough time for
Yeah.
us to do the actual work to actually change your habits. And like, I was like, you're not even giving me really a chance to like, for you to see some results. But people, the kind of people I was getting at the beginning were those that wanted results like in 20 days or less, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like, they wanted to lose 20 pounds in a month and be done with it. And that's not the kind of client that I serve. But it also took me some time to figure my niche and to get that going.
Yeah. And we'll probably talk about that later, but
Yeah.
I know you and I spoke about like how it's kind of a mind like it's confusing when you hear it at first, but the more niche you get, typically the better your business does, as opposed to like marketing to everybody, because it gives you direction.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
my
sure
God.
you,
You
yeah.
can, Paige, like the guest on our last episode, she would be like, okay, who's your like ideal client? What does she do? What is she like suffering from? What does she need help with? Whatever. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to single anyone out because I want to help everybody. And I was like,
You
Paige
can't.
was just like, that's cool and all. That's very kind of you. But like, we need to, in order for your business to really succeed, we have to like take root in that and like dig deeper. And that
And I
way,
think that's what also helps give you structure too, because it's like if you're marketing to every, it's you get the what's that phrase? I forgot where you're like frozen, paralysis by analysis, because you have nobody to market to. So you're like, I have no strategy. What's my? I can't do anything.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was so.
Okay, so I know this about you, but you have this like weird, um, like you believe in yourself more than anybody could possibly believe in you
I
type
was
of
like,
thing.
yeah, I am weird, right?
So this, I know there was not really a point where you didn't think you would be successful, but what was the moment where you were like, oh shit, like this could actually be something?
Oh, dang, that's hard. Probably during COVID, like when I was working with Dale, and like because I've technically had this business for 7 years, probably
But fully on your
4 years on my own, not really working for anyone else, not really, that is my sole job, like the most amount of money I bring in. I've done other tidbits, obviously I compete every day and stuff in
Yeah.
between that, but like this being like my sole providing job or money. Um, but probably, yeah, after COVID, when everyone was like, hey, it was really just like people are wanting, and I see it happening around me. I see people are remote coaching, and yeah, they have like more of an Instagram following than I did, or they might have like, more time under their belt doing this via social media, essentially, like, and word of mouth. But I think then, yeah, because I was like, oh, this is actually really kind of easy for me to kind of, I don't want to say jump into, but like it was easy for me to transition into.
Was it one like specific person reaching out, or like a time where you were like, oh, okay, people really do want this? Like, was there a moment, or was it just kind of like over time you were like, oh, this is actually like a really good business?
Probably over time. But I saw it be really successful. I used to work with a buddy of mine, Doug Champion, and he did it for a while. And I in Gold's Gym, you're not supposed to like dabble in remote coaching and
We
also,
all do.
but I did.
Yeah.
So I was like kind of already planning on leaving anyway. And like the last 2 or 3 months, I had like two girls who lived in
Mhm.
Houston. I was like, hey, pay me $100. I'm gonna do your coaching through True Coach. I just really want to see how it works. I really want to
Yeah.
see how it does. And then God kind of moved in with working for Dale, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep building this because like I wasn't gonna make as much money working for Dale. I needed it to go over, like I needed something to supplement. So I was like, well, I'll side hustle it. But I saw Doug make it really, really successful, and I was like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. At least at that time, I just thought side hustle. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think full like this is my career. I just saw it like be successful in one way, and that's all that my mind, or really I feel like God allowed me to see then, was just like
Yeah.
a side hustle, and then it came to fruition during COVID, because that's what I'm saying is that's the moment. It's because everyone was reaching out to me, even people from College Station, even
Hmm.
that were old clients who were just like, hey, I've got all this stuff in my garage. Can you like send me some programming, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. $200 and I'll,
Yeah.
program month to month or whatever for you. And then that's when I was like, oh, I'm running two businesses at this point. Like not running two
Oh,
businesses,
that's crazy.
working two businesses at this point. Like I need to kind of go all in on myself and
Hmm.
figure it out. So, I mean, like I can tell you there was a moment when I didn't think it would be successful. Like
Which was when?
when I decided to hire Nick and do impact. I was
Oh,
living,
yeah.
I was, I don't think I was living with you anymore. I think I was living with Brooke at this time, but I was just so tired of it not like getting past a certain,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you were kind of like stuck in this, like it's not getting worse, but it's not getting better.
yeah, it
Yeah.
just was a repetitive, like I would make 4 to 6K a month. And I was like, I can't live here. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't really what I'm wanting from this business. It doesn't feel sustainable. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel, and I knew that that was a me problem.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't an actual, like, I
It
knew
was a
this could
business
be
problem.
really successful. It was
Mhm.
just a me not knowing how to run my own business and have authority over it, like actually steward it well, like, and then there on top of that were huge system issues.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really have contract, like I did have contracts, but I didn't uphold them. And like, there was just things that I was not doing system wise that I was like, I know I could be 10 times better.
Hmm.
And I remember sitting, this was the moment I was sitting in Ampersand, the coffee shop, and I was
Yeah.
just working, and I was like contemplating, I had met Nick at the A-team retreat, and I was like, he talked to me about what he did and like
Hmm.
coached coaches. And I've worked with Paige before. I knew what that was like, but I needed someone within the fitness industry to
Yeah.
show me all the things that I'm missing within my business and make it like have some actual, I say this a lot, but have some roots. Like,
Yeah.
because I was doing everything very surface level because I was too afraid to go fully in on myself. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. Here's where I'm going to give some advice. If you are just constantly doing top, like surface level shit, like don't expect, like Paige said it last week,
Yeah.
diluted effort gets diluted
Yes.
results. Like if you're not going fully in and taking a moment to just like focus on one singular thing and take it as far down as you can. Plant the seeds, do the work, then it will come to fruition. Then things will start actually working for you. But I wouldn't do that because I was like somewhat afraid of
Mm-hmm.
like.
And I would say too, like from an outsider, I feel like that, and we're gonna talk about this towards the end, but I feel like for me, that was like the time when I was like, okay, she was like a really good coach. Now she's a good business owner.
Yeah.
And like the two are not the same thing.
No.
You can be an excellent trainer and just not have a business mind or even desire. And there's a place for those people. But it's not as easy as, I once competed, or, I am good at coaching. Now I can just own a business.
Love fitness.
Yes.
And then people would stop there. Like,
yeah,
you gotta really, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that.
No, I get it. And I would also say, I feel like the moment I saw you like full belief in yourself of like, okay, I can actually take this somewhere, was when you stopped doing all your side hustles.
Oh
not to say that like you don't dabble in photography still or compete, or like it was not, none of it was a negative thing. But I feel like when you finally like let go of that so you could laser focus on Beefy Babes and C7, that was when it was like, okay, this ain't going anywhere.
If anyone is literally listening to this and thinking that they still like, I looked at it this way. You have this much space in your hands at all times. Like that, you have this much space. If it's full, why would God give you more of what you desire if you're constantly not trusting him to fulfill it? Like,
Yep.
And you're placing things like, I'm not going to say like he gave me Compete every day, which is a company I used to work for, do social media for or whatever. And it was good. It was needed and it was necessary. And also Jake taught me a lot. He was a great mentor about what it was like to own your own business and like work for yourself. And I needed that. But like I kept holding on to it because I kept thinking I needed that extra $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month. And I was like, and I kept putting names to it. I kept being like, well, it's my rent. Well, it's my this. And Kelly was like, it's not anything. Like, stop giving it names.
Yeah.
Stop giving you names. It's keeping you from actually going all the way in on yourself.
Yep.
But I would like just really white knuckle holding on to things that I felt like gave me some sort of security. But still wouldn't believe fully in myself and actually trust in what God was calling me to do.
Yeah.
And once I let go of that and I opened my grip for other things, guess what? He gave me he gave me all the clients that I needed. He gave me everything like that. I fulfilled that $2,500 that next month. And I was just like,
oh, is that how that works?
You feel stupid, don't you?
Yep.
Stupid.
I should have done that 2 years ago.
Not a long time ago.
Yeah.
But everyone learns at their pace.
Well, it's funny too, because I think everybody knows this for the most part, but my husband Kyle also owns a business, and it's something that we were talking about because he's been working a lot. And he's like very good at his craft, similar to you, like very good at coaching. But like the difference between like taking on more clients to just be a little bit better as a coach or for him as a farrier versus like taking on a little bit less and learning the business side of things is so much more beneficial. But it's so hard to take that step because when you're initially starting, like for you, you had to invest the, X amount of money per month to hire the coach. You're like in your head, you're losing money and it's terrifying. Yeah. But long run, you end up making more money because you're a better business person. And so that's something that him and I talk about a lot as well. It's not just like the fitness industry thing, but clients don't necessarily care for I trained 2 extra people this month. I've trained 220 people total instead of 200. Yeah. Versus having somebody that is well-versed in how to run an effective business, how to have good contracts, had all of that kind of stuff. And it's just hard.
Like a client experience, actually. Exactly. Yeah, I can be a great coach, but are they getting a really great experience when they're with me? I always want to leave people better than when I found them. That, yes, comes through coaching, but it also comes through my systems, my communication, the way that I present myself and handle myself in talking to a client. There's just so much more that goes into it than here, do this 3 sets by 10 and rest for 2 minutes. that's kind of the easy part to me
Yeah,
now, you know?
exactly.
So
And I will say though, that part I feel like is so easy for you because of your background in in-person training.
for sure. Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like I'm all for like if you want to remote coach, like go for it, please. There's enough piece of the pizza to go around. Like
Yep.
I will never stop you from getting your bag. But like I I genuinely think that you need in-person time under your belt. Like you need to know how people move. You need to know um and I almost want to say like you need to work with kind of every different type of person. Like I remember working with a 70-year-old lady that and like Mickey would train her husband and I would train her
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
together and
I
like
actually like that.
yeah, and there was like it was like fun, but it also like okay, how can I program and train her and what does she need from me? And then I would train Zeke's daughter, who was a cross country all star, just
Mm-hmm.
make her a little bit better. And she's in eighth grade. Like, there's just such a wide range of people that I would work with people who are very overweight, like 300 pounds. I would work with people who were like, had no muscle. You know, like you just have to kind of like get in the trenches with like learning people's bodies because at the
Yep.
core of being a trainer, that's what you're doing is you're working with people's bodies. You need to know mechanics. You need to know like how to fuel them properly. Anyway, I could go on and on, but like
No,
it
that's kind of the tangent I wanted to go down because I think the same thing as a customer.
yeah,
Like if I talk to somebody who was like, "Hey, I want you to program for me this and that," I would want to know that, and that was even a question I would ask people, like, "Have you worked with somebody in person, or do you have like a background
yeah.
in fitness of some kind, so that we're on like a we're speaking the same language?" Because
Right.
if you're brand new to working out, you've never worked with somebody, and you have never really been around the fitness community, and then you hire an online coach, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice. Like you're wasting your money. Like you need a little bit of time under your belt with somebody in person teaching you movements, so on and so forth. Or even you have a background, from high school or sports or whatever the case may be. But it's kind of like a waste of your money, in my opinion, if you don't have. And there's a lot you can do with
Yeah.
videos and things like that, but I think you just get so much more out of it if you know the cues that you're getting from an online coach. Where to feel different stimulus, and
Yeah.
is this even working, and so on and
Oh
so
my gosh,
forth.
I've never had so much uh the teaching someone how to deadlift is like
You don't think it's that hard.
it's so hard because like people don't understand muscle mind connection and so to be able
Mm-hmm.
to translate that from being an in-person client or being an in-person trainer to a remote coach and
Yeah.
understanding like hey, what you want, being able to communicate that directly to them so that they can understand muscle mind connection, so that they can get that. Like, I've had to use 3 or 4 different ways of like, hey, grab like a PVC pipe and get it here, or pretend that you're going to shut your card. There's being able to kind of, and then obviously I send videos. Obviously, like,
Yes.
I have them send me videos back because I want to know how they move. And like, but I genuinely do think, like, again, if you're just starting coaching and you're like, I want to be a remote coach, go get your bag. Like, just make sure though that you understand, like, proficiently how to help someone execute a movement properly and like be able to cue them, be able to like tell them the stimulus that they're feeling, like, and then
I
also,
would even go like and as soon as you said that, I immediately thought of somebody when I was in person training that was very, very, very obese.
mhm,
And I would I don't know how you did it, but I would like program, like once they paid for whatever package, I would kind of have it in my head and have kind of like a this is what I want to do with them type of thing, and then modify as we went. So I like had the program that I wanted to do with her, and I was so, and this is not a negative thing. I'm not like saying bad things because she's obese, but I was so shocked with how limited she was,
yeah,
like what I could do with her, because I've never been that large, never had trained somebody that large. And again, this is not a negative thing, but I just didn't know
yeah,
until I was physically with her. And I was luckily able to kind of like make
think on
adjustments on the fly. So she would have had no idea that I didn't know that.
mhm.
But if I was only like, if I had just jumped into online coaching, you could have very easily sent that program to
Oh,
her. Then
yeah.
she's embarrassed. She's not getting anything out of it. Now she's
Doesn't
not
feel
successful.
successful. Yep.
Yeah. And it totally like it, you lose trust as a coach.
Yeah.
Like you just do it. I don't know. I just feel like you do yourself a disservice when you don't have the background of in
Well, the
person.
way that and you just said this and made me think of it because it's so second nature to me now. But when I program for someone, like, yes, I have a niche clientele of 25 to maybe 40-year-old women, maybe 45-year-old women. Actually, I've got a couple that are a little bit older than that. But like, when I take this niche client, like they all still look different. They all
Yes.
still move different. They all still have like some of them do weigh a little on the other side of things. Some of them do weigh lower. Like I the way that I program for them if they're doing individual stuff is very different.
Very
Like
different.
I might have a skeleton, which as a remote coach, like as someone who is coaching, like you should have a different couple of skeletons. Like this skeleton builds muscle. This skeleton is very focused on like building legs and building glutes. This skeleton, whatever. But I have pretty much the same. Everyone kind of starts on the same 6 weeks so that I
Yeah.
can get an idea of how they move. But I will go in there and manipulate it to death if I know that they haven't moved in 2 years.
Yep.
They've been sedentary. They haven't been to the gym. They are really just doing this from home. Like they don't have to be really overweight for me to like really manipulate that. But you just like when you train in person, you can understand walks of life a little bit differently as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even that we could spend all day talking about that, but
Yes.
yeah, what you just like reminded me actually the way that I program is so very different depending on like where they are in life and
Yeah.
just, like in general. That didn't have to be like weight, but that just made me think of like how I manipulate every program because should be very individual based, but because I know how to do that is because I in person trained for about 3 or 4 years.
Exactly.
Like,
And I'm positive that you feel the same way. In-person training is awesome.
yeah,
Like I like if I could just do, I don't know, 10 clients a week and
yeah,
it's fun.
yeah,
And you get to know people. Like I don't know. I enjoy the gym environment, all of that. The problem that people don't realize is one, you only make money when you're working and there's only so many hours in a day. And two, it's freaking exhausting.
it is.
Like I have never been, yeah, so tired than when you're in-person training. So,
I was talking to a buddy about this at the gym yesterday because Westwood is expanding their personal training and they want more personal trainers. And Trent had asked me and he was like, I already know the answer, but like, would you? I was like, no.
yeah,
It's like
no,
my
I've been
time
there,
is,
done that. It was great.
yeah, I loved it. I love training the same people. You get to see them every week, or
Yep.
like, some people just need specific help on things. Like, I have the best relationships. People still like, those clients still talk to me and text me,
Yeah.
like, but I was talking to a buddy. He was like contemplating, like he's a great personal trainer, has been for a while. He was the one that owned his own business and like had a trailer that he would hitch up to his
Yeah.
truck,
Yeah. Yeah.
go different to people's houses and do the one-on-one training. I was like, why don't you think about doing that here? And he goes, oh, I would, but like he has a kid and he's about to be one. And he was like, but then I'm up here at 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then he's kind of in daycare. And then I have to be back up here at 3:30 to like 7, like I'm not, those are the hours in which a personal trainer works,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Because people don't realize like you're working when everybody else isn't working.
right. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I was so exhausted running that schedule. Like, no thanks. My
Yeah.
time is
Because you're
way
up
better
at,
spent
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
this. Anyway,
Exactly. Anyway, back to the business side of things. On a practical, well, I guess, yeah, it is. It's pretty practical. What systems, habits, processes have you developed over the 4 years that allowed you to scale to where you're at today?
good question.
Maybe even just like one of
That's
each.
one I would have liked to have beforehand.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. What processes have helped me scale? Um, I think having Ellie was super helpful. So having
Yeah.
someone be able to send the contracts the way I wouldn't have to, and then them and her also sending those front end emails because I would get a little bogged down by that. Like someone was interested, so I send an onboarding questionnaire. They fill that questionnaire out, send it back to me. I read it. We schedule a call, and that kind of was a little bit on me to just kind of always be doing when I needed to kind of be doing other things, like in the business clients, like nurturing the clients I already had.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that helped, but also just having, I think what really helped me scale the most is having a prompt that they would fill out as a check-in system. Um, and everyone kind of has a very similar prompt, but a lot
Yeah.
of people I have them paying attention to a couple of different things, and like some have journal entries that they owe me, some have just like, hey, what is your glucose like this week? I have one client doing that right now, so everyone kind of looks a little bit different with their needs, but like having that system was super helpful,
Yeah.
and not just like texting. Then obviously having a Slack channel, I think that's what was really helpful about me being in Impact and also working with Megan, was like I can kind of see how other people structure their businesses a little bit and be like, okay, I really like that about this. That's something I'm not doing that I would really actually like to implement. Or I can see how they're doing this, but I do this a little bit different. I think I like the way that I'm doing it. I'm going to stick with this. Like, as soon as clients sign up with me, I send a start here email.
Yeah.
Like while I'm on the phone, I tell them what I'm going to need from them, but people forget all the time. And so that was
Hmm.
also slowing down our onboarding process, was just like, I would say, hey, I need you to download True Coach. I'm going to send you True Coach invite. I need you to download my Fitness Pal because we're going to start counting. I want you to also do 2 or 3 days of my Fitness Pal. Don't change anything. I just want to see where you're at right now. Blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. People will be like, that's a lot. Like, and it is like, it
It
takes
is.
a while to kind of get started with it because it is kind of a lot. I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to know your body.
Hmm.
But like, all of that can kind of get lost if they don't have that start here email. Kind of,
Yep.
I provide them a checklist. If Ellie doesn't send them the contract, I forget to send the contract. She's the one that sets them up in TrueCode. Like, there's just things that like we call it SOP, right? Standard procedure. That now that we have, that's so much better and so much
Yeah.
easier. And I can see where someone hasn't. Heaven forbid I don't get paid. So like where I can see someone is where they are in like that process, and then
Yeah.
be able to kind of, okay, they're here, cool, they've done their general movement assessment on True Coach. I can see how they move, blah, blah, blah. Great. Here's programming. Here's your macros, blah, blah, blah. Like now it's so much
The
easier.
cool part too, though, that when you say all of that, is that that's how you answered like scaling your business. Like, you didn't wait for all of that stuff to be in place to start the business, because I do feel like I see people get bogged down like trying to start their business because they want like all these systems in place, and it's like, one, you don't have the money to do that yet. Two, like, get the clients. You need clients to be able to. So it's like, yes, all of that made your business so, yeah, so much better, but like you didn't wait.
And listen, like I've had different systems. It's not just that like, and I know that I'll probably change the system. Like the
Hmm.
thing I think people don't realize is that like, oh, it has to be perfect when I start. I think I've said this in like my reel that I said was like 4 things that I've learned. Like my
Yeah,
very first thing that I learned was like start, like, what did I say?
it was actually good. I forgot what you
Make
said.
it exist. I say, yeah, make it exist first. You can make it good later.
Yes.
Like just make it exist and then tweak along the way. Like my Beefy Babes Club is not the same as when it started. Like
Hmm.
that whole process was because I wanted a lower ticket entry to
Yeah.
be able to work with me. That way, money wasn't ever an issue for them of not being able to train and not being able to get the results that they wanted. But now it is like this really, really cool community of women, and like they still get the programming, but now we have once a month calls, and now we run
Hmm.
challenges, and now it's just a little bit more in depth. It wasn't ever going to be that way to start.
Right.
Like I had
Yeah.
zero intentions, no idea that that's what I wanted. But like I just put it out there. I remember Nick videoed a couple things for me when we were dating at the time, and like I
Hmm.
just put it out there, and I was like, okay, who wants to sign up?
Isn't it funny too how you think certain things are gonna stick and they're just like a total flop, and then other things you're like, man, this will just be like a little extra thing that I'm gonna do, and all of a sudden you're like, this is my entire business personality now.
All of a sudden, I have branding.
Literally.
All of a sudden, branding. I did
So,
not think BB Babes Club was gonna stay with me this long.
literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So funny. Okay, yeah, that's good. What do you think people romanticize about online coaching? I can tell you what I think,
Yeah,
what
tell me.
I thought before I knew you.
Yeah. What do you think?
I just thought, and I kind of thought it about people that worked remotely that wasn't, I guess, blue collar type of work,
Mm-hmm.
that it was like, oh, must be nice.
Ah, yes.
That's probably until you meet people that are doing it or you try to do it yourself, you're like,
Yeah.
no, yes, you do get to do things on your own time, but you don't have time. Like you
No.
work a lot, especially in the beginning.
At the first, it was really funny. I've known this about myself, or I've known this about my business, and I've heard other people, like other entrepreneurs and other business owners, say this. Like, the first couple of years, you are working and working and working and scraping by. You are like whatever. But I was watching Queer Eye last night, and it's like the last season. Yeah, it's great. I love it. But one of the guys, Tan, he's like the fashion person. He was like talking to someone that was thinking about, like, one of their heroes was thinking about starting his business, but he'd been like procrastinating doing the paperwork for the LLC. He'd been procrastinating all this stuff and coming up with excuses. Oh, I have this to work on for this other person. I have this, whatever. Tan was like, I was the secretary at my job while also the CEO, while also the marketer, while also this, but I still found time to do the paperwork, to do like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I mean, and you can ask Brooke, like you can ask you, like I would be sitting there at the computer doing this at like 7 p.m. because I like had this idea. I needed to get it onto like Canva. I needed to get it on something so that I could push it next week. You know, like I had this idea. I wanted to act on it then. Like
Yeah.
it in the first couple of years, you are working and wearing all different types of hats until you can give someone else that hat. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just how it is. And like I loved it, hated it, but also loved it because it was mine. And so people like, yes, like it is nice. I saw a girl, her name's Emily Duncan, like she's been in the fitness industry for a really long time, been a remote coach for like 11 years, like she's been in it for a long time. She actually made a post today that was like, it must be nice to blah 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 blah. And the next couple of slides, I was like, it is nice, but would like to be where I am, would you be willing to do blank? Would you be willing to do blank? Like, and it was just all the ways that she sacrificed to make her business like soar, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, but
It's
any,
one of those like the grass is always greener. Like, okay, quit and do it then.
yeah, literally. Okay, quit.
Yeah.
Like, that's why like I'm like, don't want to ever hate on someone having a 9 to 5 because it offers you some security like that. All of this, I could go away tomorrow.
Yeah.
All my clients could like, they have contracts in place, but all of them could go away tomorrow. I'm like, I'd like to see them try.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
you know, all of it could go away tomorrow at some point. And like, I think I just know within like a shadow of a doubt within my heart, cool, I just rebuild it.
Yep.
Like, okay, fine. And that's what made me feel finally like, I was like, oh, this is my career. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just like some shiny, like I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I think that people do think that a lot is like, they think, oh, shiny, like she works for herself. And it has afforded me a lot of cool stuff, like
Yeah.
a lot of really cool opportunities. I can just push everything back and go take care of my grandma tomorrow. Like,
Yes.
I can do that. But like, also, I know I'm going to come back to a lot of like the same amount of emails as someone else who's like working a 9 to 5. I'm going to come back to still work. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of the work that you want to do. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
And I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I was just listening to a podcast about from this guy, but he talked about he says entrepreneurs can have it all, just not all at once,
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines. But he was talking about how not being an entrepreneur is not always the best option for everybody.
Right.
Like if you can go work this 7-figure job and finance with all these benefits and this and that and retirement and a pension and all this, like, do it.
Yeah.
Like you probably are better off, type of thing. Like it's not always a better option. Like it takes the right person and the right mentality and like all of that kind of stuff to do it. And so anyway, I thought that was interesting because I do feel like especially with social media. I think social media is the main reason people think that, of like the it must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Yeah, who Abigail's like, I've seen it, and also try to
yeah,
do it. Like, also too, like
yeah.
it. I I was gonna say something, I lost my train of thought. The other caveat I think that people think is like, oh, these people must make a lot of money. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I must make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the first 3 years, not true. Like, not true at all. I made enough to get by. I made enough to like,
Yes.
but I also got myself into some credit card debt because I needed a little extra help. Like, I also couldn't for the life of me not figure out how to pay taxes correctly. Like, I would
Right.
always end up like, no matter how.
Social media is glamorizing
Well, yeah, I would
entrepreneurship.
also like have to pay taxes and figure all of that out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I and the other side of that is like I am in control of how much money I make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Joe Blow, who has a nice finance job, might be on a salary 150K a year, whatever. Cool. That's great. Keep that. Stay there. That's awesome. That offers you security. You get benefits, whatever. I now I feel the most amount of structure. Like, I feel the most amount of stability. But like, that wasn't always the case. I'd be like 4K months, and then a nice like 10K month or something.
Yeah.
Then I go back down. Like, I didn't know how to budget. I didn't know how to work off of that. I didn't know like how, okay, well, how much do I save? How much do I put away for taxes? How much do I like? This year was the best year because I felt the most stability. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I also made the most money, but I felt the most stability. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that is also the case too, is if I didn't want to work this month, that's fine. I still have clients. I'm still like, I still am, or I say work, I mean like get new clients, like
Right,
build
right,
new
right,
business.
right.
Like,
Build.
yeah, build. Like, I'm still gonna have my own clients. That's fine. That's cool. But then like maybe I'm gonna pay the price of that maybe 2 months later when people's contracts are up, and now I'm down 2K because I didn't, I wasn't kind of working to like,
You're not
okay,
forecasting. Yeah.
this person is gonna end here. This person is gonna whatever. Like, that's also kind of the caveat, is you are in control of how much you make, which is great. Work your little tail off and go make a lot of money if you want. Like, I'm still doing that, but I
Mm-hmm.
also like you did the most work here, which is like, hey, stop hustling all the time. Like, take a beat and like remove some of
Yeah.
the from yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the same as when, a poor person gets a lot of money for the first time, or like you start making a lot of money for the first time, you just go blow it and you're like, crap. But it's like you start working for yourself for the first time and you're like, oh, I don't have to work today. And
Yeah.
then you pay the price, 2 months later. So it's like the lesson of figuring all of that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I, that was probably the biggest thing that I learned living with you, was like, these people work.
Yeah.
It didn't ever turn off. Okay, so kind of pivoting a little bit. Um, a lot of your business is on social media and generated from social media. I don't think it has to be, but that's like for everybody, but that is the big thing right now. So, one, how do you kind of save your mental health from being online and constantly like consuming all the time? Yeah,
Like,
you're like, I don't.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, right. I don't. I'm not okay.
No, and I'm not okay. I don't sleep at night. No, I'm just kidding. I I had to do this, I think, really when working with Impact, was like I felt the need to constantly be on all the time because I was
Mm-hmm.
comparing myself to other people, and I should be here by now. I should be getting this many likes on this
Yeah.
post. Well, they got that many likes on this post. Like, why am I not getting as many views? Blah blah blah. Like, it is really easy to kind of get like trapped in that game. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I turned my likes off, and well, I turn, and I'm like, no, leave them on. Like, I don't. That just doesn't. You have to really remove the emotion. Like,
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing for me, was just like, I place so much trust in God, of like, he's going to deliver the right clients to me at the right time. Like, he's going, because he has a million times over. Anytime I ever thought about giving up, he was like, here's this client, they're going to pay you in full for 6 months. And it was just always going to be enough to get me,
Yeah.
like, always going to get me enough to like be that, get that extra, 12K, not 12K, 1.2K
Yeah. Yeah.
dollars for that month or whatever. Like, I just removed a lot of the emotion from it. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still sometimes am like looking for just like ideas, like, okay, what's trending right now? And I'm like, I guess I should be in the gym more. And then sometimes I'll like, or not be in the gym, but like film more gym content.
Yeah.
And
You find yourself consuming too much type of thing.
then I find myself consuming too much. And then like, and then it can also easily go down the, well, I don't look like her. Well, I don't have like honor active behind me like she does. I don't have like, I can. And so that's where I think
Hmm.
a lot of people like they get really consumed in like the comparison trap that is social media, especially with their businesses. And like that was one that was really big and heavy for me for a long time was like also I've lost I think I had like 12.8 followers beginning of last year. I have 12.3 now. Like
Yeah.
I'm also actively trying to get rid of the men that are on my social media because I gained a lot from working for Dale and
Yeah.
they're not my ideal client
But
anymore.
they're not
So
making you money.
they're not making me money. They're not giving me their money. So like, see you later.
That's something that it's so easy to say versus like actually get through your thick skull that like your followers do not equate to the amount of money you make
No,
at all
no,
because it's crazy. I mean, like, yes, brand deals, things like that
yeah,
are affected by followers. But business wise, like when you are running a business that is really just marketed on social media, somebody with 6,000 followers can be making double what somebody with
oh yeah,
20,000 followers has. Like it's crazy. Like people really can make it look like they are significantly more successful than you are. And like I said, I get it, brand deal, so on and so forth. Like yes, that is a thing. But like I have known people who have 6,000 followers and they market their business, but they make money
yeah.
on their business because they're marketing to the right people, not just the
Their
mass.
message has so much clarity and conviction behind it. So they're actually talking to the people that do want to buy from them, like and
Exactly.
want to like invest in what it is that they're selling or helping them with or solving a problem. Like
Hmm.
I make a post and I shifted this way probably about a year ago. When I make a post, I think about is this post worth like $500? Because if I
Hmm.
how many posts I made, how much money I made that year, can I put like an actual amount behind that post? Like can
Yeah.
I put an actual amount like okay, I made blah 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 many posts. I made this much money. So each post that I made was pretty equivalent to X amount of money. So say it
Right.
was
Right.
$500, like, okay, then I'm going to make sure that that post is talking to my ideal person. Like,
Yep.
I'm going to talk with that much conviction because I want them to hear what I have to say, how I'm going to help them, what advice I would give them, what advice I'm giving myself in relation to all of that. Like, I'm not out here, like, I don't want to be a fitness influencer. I want to
Hmm.
be a coach and I want
Right.
to turn
Yep.
your life around. So, like, that's the difference is like when you look at some of these people who are fitness influencers selling you a 6 week program and an 8 week program, like, okay, spend $30. But like when you come into my container of my Beefy Biz Club, yeah, you're going to pay $97 a month. But guess what? You're going to get so much value out of that. Like,
And like let I don't think I'm not I'm not a huge like hater, if you will, in the sense of like I'll come back to that. But
hater.
hater in the sense of like be an influencer. Like I don't care if you're filming in the gym, get your bag,
Yeah.
whatever. You motivate me. I see your stuff on social media. It motivates me. I'm not going to buy you don't need to don't sell the program.
Yeah.
Or if you're the person consuming, don't buy their program. They're an influencer and that's great and they can motivate and they can do all that stuff and whatever, but then you go and let coaches do coaches things.
Yeah.
We don't need to. But I do feel like here recently, I would say maybe like I've noticed it more in the past year or so that there is like a level of authenticity on social media that's being like ingrained into the algorithm. Like people are really wanting like authenticity and not like, cause you remember when we were in like college, it was, you would like buy filters
Yeah.
like free and you would put the filters on all your, or what were they called? Presets.
Presets.
Yes. All your presets and you would have like, you want it, what did your grid look like? You know, like all of that kind of stuff was very like curated. And now I feel like it's more about the unedited photos and like when people are posting like the all the stuff, it's these very like unedited, authentic
Well,
things, or they're just like putting their camera up to their face and recording. And I feel like people are wanting that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And something that I've seen a shift in with social media is that people are craving actual authenticity and not just like curation anymore.
Yes.
And like also people know what a chat GPT prompt looks like and know like when you're putting a carousel together or something like that to actually like use information or pass information on, like I can tell when you use chat for the whole thing or when you actually just use your voice. Like the only times I use chat for is to like, hey, this is what I want to say, and I'll say it, and you'll like see chat has like this long prompt by me, and
Yes.
not prompt, but like long like me thing, and I'm like, hey, break this down into 10 carousels, like, and if they'll break it down, and then I'm like, okay, well, that's not really what I said, blah blah blah, like I'll reconstruct it, but I want to know just like structure of how to like kind of make it make sense eventually, not just me blah 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 blah, which I've gotten better at and don't have to do any like hardly anymore about like getting thoughts out, but
Yeah.
you can tell like when something is really curated. And I think people are like, when you and I send each other reels and TikToks, it's mostly like a girl in bed and she's like, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I think to be really successful in doing anything on social media, you have to like take your mask off. You have to be very like genuine in who you are and what your message is and feel very convicted by it. Like, or no one's going to follow you for longer than follow you, but they're not going to do what you're doing or wanting them to do longer than like 4 weeks, because then they're like, oh, I don't like that. Like that doesn't really reflect on me anymore, you know, or make me want to change and whatever.
No, but, yeah, I get it. And it's funny too, because I see our age group of people that are like accepting that. And then you see the other people that it's like, you are still using the 2016 preset chat GPT prompts. And like, yeah, we know that's not your life. Yeah.
No. And that's,
anyway, we went down on tangent, but
social do a lot, which is like probably a little less of me in the gym these days. Like, yes, I'm in the gym and I really do need to get better about that kind of contact again. But like, I want to coach you and talk to you with authority and talk to you with like, hey, this is how I'm going to change your life when you hire me. This is what you can expect. This is like the way in which I'm going to call you up and ask you to change in order to get the results that you want. Like, I mean, a lot of people care about, because I am kind of like, I go back and forth on whether I am a brand or just C7 Training Beefy Babes Club is the brand and I'm just myself. That can get kind of misconstrued sometimes. Like I do think that I am the brand. I'm the walking, talking emulation of it. So like I kind of need to be, there's a little dabble in being a fitness influencer.
Yeah. I mean, it's a balance because you are the brand, but you are more than just the brand.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the long and the short of social media part.
But. Yeah, I feel like we could do a whole episode on social media, let me tell you. But I'll save my pivot or my pivot. What's not my word today?
Dude. Guys, she texted me this morning because we were supposed to record at 9 a.m. She goes, yo, I got to pivot right a little bit today, if that's okay, or something like that. And I was like,
what does that mean?
I said, not gonna lie, I don't know what that means. It's like pivot. You can pivot left for all I care. What does that mean?
And then I was like, is that a military thing? Is that a phrase? Or did I just like literally say that? I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, we are getting close to an hour, so let me get through like 2 more.
Rapid fire me. Go.
Rapid fire. When you see a new coach starting out, what do you typically see their biggest mistake? I should say a new online coach.
Not speaking with like confidence and conviction in why they're a coach. Like,
what do you mean?
Just because you like fitness, everyone can like fitness, but with like actual conviction and like, don't just tell me like, yeah, like there are simple things that you want to communicate to people, like what's a macro and what's this and what's that. But like, whose life are you actually trying to change? Like what information are you actually trying to get out there? Like, yes, that is information that does need to be known and people need to like, you know, have an idea on, but like speak with like authority and conviction and why you became a trainer. Like, is it because you want to help the person who wants to lose 15 to 20 pounds? Like, then speak to her directly, and I guess like, yeah, find your niche is maybe one of
Yeah.
them, but also speak with conviction and like why you became a remote coach, because anyone can like fitness.
Yeah, and I don't think I would have initially thought that, except that you're so right that yeah, people need to hear what a macro is, but like it's 2026.
Yeah.
I can Google what a macro is.
Yeah.
I could like ChatGPT could give me that. So like what makes you somebody that I would want to hire type of thing.
Yeah, I think Kelly said it on one of her reels. Like, she was like, it like kind of like be so for real. Like, if you wanted to change, she was like, you're 30 years old. If you wanted to change, you would, because
Yeah.
like you can Google anything these days. You can be like, hey, what? There's a TDEE calculator. Like, if you really want to know how many calories you're burning a day, whatever. Like, yeah, sure, you don't know what you don't know, but like also it's free information everywhere. What you really need is someone who's going to pull you out of where you're at and get you to where you're going to be with behavioral changes, with habit changes, with like an actual structured plan that's going to suit you and follow for you, like not just something that chat gives you and whatever. Like, I talked to a client the other day who wanted to work, and she's like, yeah, I've just been doing stuff off of that I found on TikTok and chat GPT. And I was like, how's it working out for you?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no,
How's it going?
not great. And I was like, come work with me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
work with, like, yeah, conviction and have some confidence in what you're trying to do.
And I do, this is kind of a tangent, but I wanted to say it. The when you were talking earlier about how like you have a kind of a skeleton of what clients get
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, I think that's like important to mention though. If you're a coach or any type of fitness coach, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then you are going to have a very similar skeleton, a very similar like how you run your business, this and that, because that's what works.
Yeah.
Like
So the science changes a little bit, but like for the most part, what works works.
yeah, and then so like movements for each client is gonna change, but I mean you're gonna push, pull, squat, hinge. Like if somebody's telling you you don't have to do that, that's like flawed science.
Right.
So the reason I say that is because it is important to have your specific niche, because all of that, if you're hiring a good coach, is going to be about the same.
Mm-hmm.
Their specific movements are going to be a little bit different, how they communicate a little bit different, but like those basics are the same. So it's like who resonates with you, who speaks to you, who's going to motivate you, who all of that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, oh, I've been wanting to ask you this. What client transformation lives rent free in your head and why? You don't have to say a name unless you want, but
So many. Man, I I have some like really great ones right now, to be honest, that I'm like still continuously working with. And the reason that they're so successful is that they just do everything I ask them to do. Like,
it's so simple.
full stop. Without, they ask all the questions. Don't get me wrong. They're like, hey, why are we doing this? Hey, what can I expect in this building phase? Am I going to gain weight? I'm a little shy of that. Like, why? They ask questions, they communicate with me, but like, there's one girl right now, and I won't say her name because
Okay.
she wants like all the like, not safety, what's the word, like
Privacy?
privacy. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
She
sorry.
wants all the privacy in the world. I'm just gonna give her flowers, but like,
Yeah.
she's lost, I bet, almost 50 pounds, and like, she's one that I never post on social media. I don't ever.
Mhm.
She doesn't want that. That's fine, dude. I don't care. Like, um, but I've watched her completely change, like, just who she was as a very broken person coming to me. And she said this, not me. Like,
Yeah.
the lack of like the belief that she had in herself, the people, the men that she was choosing, like just repetitive boyfriend patterns, and like, took the time to really work on herself this last year, and now is in a very healthy relationship,
Hmm.
where she's working through triggers, where she's like, and she has a partner that supports that. She also feels amazing. She feels like she can do anything. Like, she hasn't done really any functional movements in a long time, but I put in like wall walks the other day, and I put in like something else that was a little bit more like CrossFit-y because she used to really like that style of training, but she hasn't in a while. And plus she needed to pull back. Her like hormones were all over the place. And she also felt a little like she needed to kind of pull back and just focus on some bodybuilding. Like we didn't want to do anything that was really going to raise cortisol unnecessarily. So like we pulled back a lot. Like, and now we're getting a little bit more into those like high like function training things that she used to like doing. And she's like, oh my God, I had so much fun. Because now like she loves it again and she feels lighter, she feels better. Like, but it just more is, I think what lives in my mind rent free is I don't ever think about like the side by side physical comparisons.
Yeah.
I look at how they've changed their lives and like took complete ownership over their like change before. I mean, yeah, like you can drop 20 pounds and I'm going to be really proud of you, but like I want to know that you can also set boundaries for yourself. I want to know that you feel confident and trust yourself to like go for a new job or like speak up for yourself in ways that you might not have when you weighed 50 pounds heavier, you know, like those little things. That's what lives in my brain rent free is like, and also just what keeps me going. Because like,
and it's also like the opposite too. When you like see, we were literally just talking about one particular person before the podcast started, where it's like the opposite of like the transformation that could have been that lives rent free, where you're like, dude, you're gaining and losing, gaining, losing, gaining, losing. And if you would just have the mind flip that I used to think was such a cop out when people would say, is like the internal work is more, you know, is so much more impressive than the physical. And it's like, no, but when you see it actually happen, like when you see it click with a client, it's crazy. And so there's like there's not so many, but there's a few people where I'm like, man, if you would just buy in, you will not like have this.
That stuff is what keeps me up.
Yes.
Like those are the people that keep me up at night that I think about. Like, I'm like, okay, they just ghosted me completely. You know,
When you're like, what can I do to make it click?
And I'm just like, I'm not asking a lot here. Like, you know, and realistically, I asked them to just like, hey, try counting your macros for a little bit. Let's do this. I'm going to ask you to work out 2 times a week and we'll go from there. You know, like I want them to feel successful because that's what keeps them coming, like back, building that trust with themselves. But like, man, when they don't buy in and they don't try, like, but then they tell me all these like things that I just, they're sad and they're like depressed with themselves and who they are. And I'm like, I can get you to the other side.
Yes.
You can lead a
what you've been doing hasn't been working. So just throw me a bone.
Throw me a bone.
Try it.
Let me try. Let me try. Like if we don't make it stick in 6 months, then you can go somewhere else, find someone else. Cool. Maybe I wasn't the right person for you. That's okay. But like, I'll even refund your money if you don't get the results. If you do everything I say to do, and you still don't look the way that you want to look and have the results that you want to, cool. I had this one girl do a 12-month, a 1-year contract with me. And then she maybe a month into it was like negotiating with herself. And she's like, I think I did too much. I think I just want to do like 6 months. Is there any way we can just do 6 months? And I was like, give me, no, this was like an issue with the husband. Like it wasn't really her, but like, I was like, give me 6 months of your time. If we don't make the changes, if you don't want to stay with me, I will write off the other 6 months of your contract. Like you don't even have to do Beefy Babes Club. Like I just will sometimes like when they're like, hey, I would like to maybe go to Beefy Babes Club. Like I'm like, okay, we can do that. Like that's I don't do that. I don't do that anymore, but no. But anyway, like I was like, cool, you can go away. She's been with me for 8 months, 8 or 9, I think now. And like,
and that's on good coaching.
Yeah. And she feels amazing. Looks great. Like everything is really sustainable for her. 10K steps are like a walk in the park. Like there are things that are just a walk in the park for her now, but like, that's the shit that keeps me up at night. Not like, I think about people, like how proud I am of people all the time when they make transformations, but it's the people that I'm just like, I want to help you.
Yes.
Help you.
Help me help you. Yeah. Help me help you. Okay. Last question to wrap it up. Sorry, don't mind me.
Where do you go?
Where are you going? Oh, perfect timing because my child is about to start crying. Maybe she'll make an appearance. She's back asleep. Okay. Day 1, Caitlin, or somebody who's trying to start a business, specifically, we'll do specifically online coaching in 2026, what would you tell them? What's the first thing you would tell them? Or the one thing you would tell them?
Guided.
I know, I'm like,
Honestly, I don't want to say kind of what we've been saying, but like, be prepared to also really dismantle everything you know about yourself.
I like
Like,
that.
just also be very prepared to put yourself in the fire. Like, I don't think I would be the coach that I am had I not done 2 years of bodybuilding. And before that, 8 years of CrossFit. And in the middle of that, trained for a marathon in High Rocks. Like,
Yeah.
be prepared to, like, you don't have to do all of those things, but like, what kind of a coach would I be if I didn't want to like dabble in other things and try different diets and try different, like, I'm just one of those people that will always kind of be a guinea pig and hamster of
Mm-hmm.
everything health and wellness, because like I want to be able to give my honest opinion and honest protocols to other
Yeah.
people because I did them and I did my research on them and I tried them myself. And like, why would I ever ask anyone to do something that I have not personally done and had experience in?
Yeah.
Honestly, anytime I train someone, I look at all the ways in which like God has put me into experiences, we'll call them, like, that I have not had to like coach someone else in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
whether that was disordered eating or whether that was like painful breakups and like how
Yeah.
you find yourself after that, and like just little things that I am the example that
Yeah.
I use a lot of the time in my coaching. And so I think like we'll wrap it up by saying this.
No, yeah.
Yes, you are going to transform other lives, but be very prepared to transform your own.
I like that was a good one. And that's a mic drop right
Mic
there.
drop, baby. Like,
That was
that's
good.
all day one Caitlin or anyone else starting
I
out.
like that. Okay.
It
Now I
ain't
have an idea before we actually close, and then we can close.
okay.
Because I think, and we can do it with the episode that you did for me on pregnancy too, because I think both would be cool. Is actually my friend Becca's idea. But then when I was interviewing you, I'm like, we should do this for business too. 6 months from now, after like people have listened to this, I feel like that's going to stir the questions of like, okay, you know, specific things that you did in your business to be successful, or maybe like things that you started this year, how are they going? So kind of like a 6-month check-in.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do that later this year, and maybe we can put like a question box up with stuff for your business, or same thing with pregnancy, and touch base and see how things have changed, or what other questions people have about it. So
I like that.
Yeah.
That'll help me actually put some thought behind my goals for this year, actually.
Yeah, right. Same.
I haven't really done that. I've just been trying to survive. Oh my wait, yesterday I was laughing so hard because I was like, you know how when we talked about me getting back on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, you were like, yeah, one day you're just gonna wake up and be like, man, I've been kind of happier. I started laughing to myself yesterday about something and I was like, my antidepressants are working. Laughing and I was like, oh wow.
And be careful because you're gonna think they work and then you don't need to take them anymore.
It's like,
Joke's on you.
You're working. Nice.
She was right.
Awesome. Anyway,
That's so funny.
Yeah, we can do a 6-month check-in for you and for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, well, that's today's episode, guys. If you have any comments or questions about owning your own business, being a coach, working with a coach, send us a DM. But other than that, share, save,
stay warm.
Stay warm.
Freaking ice freeze.
Your mom.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye.